discover the lives of 18 LGBTQ Hollywood legends, who, despite living in an era of secrecy and prejudice, courageously paved the way for freedom, authenticity, and acceptance. From their groundbreaking roles to their quiet struggles, each story reveals a legacy of resilience and the enduring impact they left on both Hollywood and the LGBTQ+ community. Rock Hudson was known for his good looks and charisma, making him one of Hollywood's most beloved actors. However, his life took a tragic turn when he was diagnosed with AIDS in the early 1980s. The world knew little about AIDS, and the disease carried a heavy stigma, often seen as a consequence of deviant behavior. Hudson initially kept his diagnosis private, but as his health deteriorated, he courageously went public with both his illness and his sexuality. In doing so, Hudson became one of the first major public figures to openly discuss AIDS, and his donation of over $200,000 helped establish the National AIDS Research Foundation. Hudson's openness changed how society viewed the disease, helping break down fear and misconceptions. He passed away in July 1985, leaving a legacy that extended beyond film to include activism and advocacy for the LGBTQ+ community. Tab Hunter became an icon of the 1950s and 60s for his irresistible charm and rugged good looks, making him a heartthrob for both men and women alike. Throughout his career, however, Hunter was forced to keep his sexuality hidden, pressured by Hollywood's rigid studio system. In 2006, he released an autobiography titled Tab Hunter Confidential, in which he openly discussed his life as a gay man in an unforgiving industry. This memoir also chronicled his decades-long relationship with his partner, producer Alan Glaser, with whom he lived until his passing in 2018. By sharing his story, Hunter helped to normalize the struggles LGBTQ+ individuals faced and inspired others to live more authentically, solidifying his place as an LGBTQ+ icon and advocate. Anthony Perkins was best known for his role as Norman Bates in Psycho, a performance that forever cemented his legacy in Hollywood. Perkins' private life, however, was marked by complex struggles with his sexuality. Until age 39, he had relationships exclusively with men, including Tab Hunter and Rock Hudson. However, due to pressure, he sought therapy to change his sexual orientation and eventually married photographer Barry Berenson, with whom he started a family. Despite his marriage, he continued to have relationships with men, affecting his health and leading to rumors that he had contracted AIDS. In his final days, he publicly reflected on AIDS and called for society to treat people with compassion and understanding rather than fear. Perkins' legacy remains an enduring symbol of courage and authenticity. Known for his distinguished voice and screen presence, Vincent Price became a staple in horror films, but led a more complex life off-screen. Despite 3 marriages, Price's name often surfaced in rumors about Hollywood's LGBTQ+ community. According to Scotty Bauer's memoir, Price was among the many well-known figures who kept their sexual orientations hidden from the public to preserve their careers. In the late 1980s, Price was diagnosed with both Parkinson's and emphysema, and he passed away in 1993 from cancer. Today, Price is remembered not only as a horror icon, but also as a quiet advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and diversity in Hollywood. Tyrone Power, an actor with a fiercely determined spirit, became one of Hollywood's biggest stars. Known for his close friendship with Cesar Romero, rumors of bisexuality often followed him throughout his career. Power's 3 marriages and relationships were well documented, but his friendship with Romero added a layer of mystery to his life. He passed away from a heart attack in 1958, leaving a legacy as an actor who inspired audiences and lived according to his own terms. Raymond Burr, famous for Perry Mason and Ironside, was known for his dedication to his craft and a private life marked by resilience. He shared a 30-year relationship with Robert Benavides, with whom he built a successful orchid business and vineyard. Even after being diagnosed with kidney cancer, Burr chose to keep working, showing his unwavering commitment to acting. He passed away in 1993, leaving a legacy as both a talented actor and a quiet LGBTQ+ icon. Marlon Brando revolutionized acting with powerful roles in A Streetcar, named Desire on the Waterfront, and The Godfather. Open about his relationships with both men and women, Brando challenged Hollywood's norms and embraced his identity unapologetically. Known for his advocacy and passion for social causes, Brando passed away in 2004, leaving a legacy of authenticity, freedom, and a trailblazing approach to both acting and personal expression. Spencer Tracy was a revered Hollywood actor whose career spanned decades, and his talent earned him critical acclaim and multiple Oscars. However, Tracy's personal life was often shrouded in mystery. His close relationship with actress Katharine Hepburn was widely speculated to be a cover for both of them, shielding their private lives from public scrutiny. While rumors about their sexual orientations persisted, neither Tracy nor Hepburn publicly confirmed these speculations. Tracy's personal struggles included battles with alcoholism and emotional hardship, often finding solace in his work. He remained dedicated to his craft despite his inner challenges, leaving a profound impact on the film industry. Tracy passed away from heart and lung disease, but his work endures as a testament to his talent and complexity, reminding audiences of the deeply human aspects of Hollywood's most celebrated figures. Montgomery Clift was known for his brooding good looks, emotional depth, and intense acting style, which won him acclaim. But behind his successful career was a life of tragedy. After a near-fatal car accident in 1956, Clift's life spiraled as he struggled with addiction to alcohol and prescription drugs. The accident had left him physically and emotionally scarred, and he often felt the weight of societal expectations as a closeted man in Hollywood. Clift's close friendships with figures like Elizabeth Taylor and his nuanced portrayals of tortured, sensitive characters have made him an icon. He passed away in 1966 at just 45, and his life story has since been viewed as a cautionary tale about the pressures of Hollywood and the high personal cost of secrecy. Clift's legacy endures as a reminder of both his talent and the heavy toll of Hollywood's restrictive culture. Farley Granger was a celebrated actor known for his roles in Rope and Strangers on a Train. He was open about his attraction to both men and women, making him one of Hollywood's earliest figures to discuss his bisexuality openly. Granger had a long-term relationship with his partner, Robert Calhoun, whom he met in the 1970s. The couple remained together until Granger's passing in 2008, marking a rare example of a Hollywood figure who maintained a stable, openly acknowledged same-sex relationship. Granger's candidness about his sexuality helped him break down barriers, and his work in both film and theater is remembered for its authenticity. His legacy is significant in LGBTQ+ history, representing courage and a steadfast commitment to living truthfully. Clark Gable was one of Hollywood's quintessential leading men, known for his rugged charm and unforgettable roles, particularly as Rhett Butler in Gone with the Wind. However, rumors about Gable's sexuality have persisted, suggesting he may have had relationships with both men and women. Despite his tough, masculine persona, Gable's life was marked by complexities and hidden layers that defied the image he portrayed on screen. Gable passed away from a heart attack in 1960, and his life remains a subject of fascination and intrigue, symbolizing the intersection of fame, sexuality, and Hollywood's rigid ideals. Randolph Scott was a beloved leading man whose roles in romance and adventure films earned him a strong fan following in the 1930s and 40s. However, it was his long-term and close relationship with fellow actor Cary Grant that truly became a Hollywood legend. Scott and Grant met in the early 1930s and soon after rented a home together, famously nicknamed Bachelor Hall, where they lived together for over a decade. Their companionship went beyond mere friendship, sparking widespread speculation that the two were romantically involved. Hollywood insiders and fans alike noticed the deep bond they shared, as they often appeared together at social events and were even photographed, vacationing and spending holidays together. Their chemistry and close relationship became one of Hollywood's enduring mysteries, with neither actor publicly addressing the nature of their relationship. Despite both men marrying women later in life, many still believed in their enduring connection, and their time together became a part of Hollywood folklore. After a long and illustrious career, Scott eventually retired to a quieter life in Los Angeles, passing away at the age of 89. His life left an indelible mark, representing a quiet defiance against Hollywood's rigid norms regarding masculinity and sexuality. Sal Mineo's rise to fame began with his role in Rebel Without a Cause, where he starred alongside James Dean and Natalie Wood, creating a portrayal of youthful rebellion that resonated deeply with audiences of the 1950s. Known for his intensity and vulnerability, Mineo was one of the first major Hollywood actors to be openly gay, a significant risk during a time of widespread discrimination. While Mineo never hid his sexuality from those close to him, he faced frequent stereotyping and limited roles as a result. As Mineo's career progressed, he sought to break free from Hollywood's constraints, choosing roles that showcased his talent and individuality. Tragically, his life ended abruptly in 1976 when he was stabbed to death near his home at only 37 years old. This shocking crime took the life of a pioneering actor whose willingness to live openly and authentically made him a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ visibility in Hollywood. Mineo's legacy lives on, inspiring those who face societal pressures to embrace their true selves and helping to pave the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ actors. British actor Dirk Bogarde was celebrated for his charm, talent, and versatility on screen. Behind the camera, however, he led a quiet, private life shaped by complex and often hidden aspects of his personal identity. Bogarde spent decades in a close relationship with his manager and confidant, Anthony Forwood. Although Bogarde publicly referred to Forwood as his best friend and never explicitly acknowledged a romantic connection, their life together was often seen as a partnership that went beyond friendship. Bogarde's career in Hollywood and Britain showcased his extraordinary range, from romantic leads to profound, nuanced roles. His performances were marked by an intense charisma that drew audiences, and he became one of Britain's biggest film stars. As a deeply private individual, Bogarde struggled with the pressures of remaining closeted in a conservative society, and his complex life reflects the challenges faced by LGBTQ+ individuals in Hollywood. He passed away in 1999, leaving behind an autobiography that offered glimpses into his private life and quiet struggles, revealing the resilience of someone who lived authentically despite the constraints of his time. Cary Grant, one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men, was known for his comedic timing, sophisticated charm, and good looks, which made him a heartthrob for fans worldwide. However, beyond his public persona, Grant's personal life was marked by ambiguity and secrecy. His years spent living with Randolph Scott sparked long-standing rumors of a romantic relationship, which has become a part of Hollywood's storied history. Despite Grant's family denying these claims, their relationship fueled persistent speculation. Grant's life and career left a legacy that extended beyond his many celebrated roles in classics like North by Northwest and his Girl Friday. His defiance of conventional masculinity and quiet challenge to the era's rigid expectations have made him an enigmatic figure in Hollywood's past. Grant passed away in 1986, but his life remains an intriguing symbol of someone who defied stereotypes and challenged perceptions of sexuality, leaving an enduring legacy that invites continued reflection and appreciation. Cesar Romero was a beloved character actor known for his roles in classic films and as the Joker in the 1960s Batman series. With his charming and sociable personality, Romero captivated audiences and became a memorable fixture in Hollywood. Although Romero was linked to several women throughout his career, rumors persisted that he had close personal relationships with men, including a reported romantic connection with fellow actor Tyrone Power. Despite these whispers, Romero never publicly addressed his sexuality, maintaining a friendly and gregarious persona. Known for his wit, humor, and captivating presence, Romero's legacy endures, and his ability to live authentically within his era makes him an inspiring figure. Romero passed away in 1994 from pneumonia, leaving behind a lasting positive impact on fans and colleagues, and an enduring reputation as a beloved actor who gracefully balanced public expectations with private reality. Ramon Novarro was a pioneering Latin American actor who achieved fame in the 1920s with roles in films like Ben-Hur. As one of the few prominent Latin actors of his time, Novarro faced significant challenges in balancing his cultural heritage with the pressures of Hollywood. He was also conflicted over his sexuality, feeling torn between his religious beliefs and his true identity. Despite his fame, Novarro led a life marked by inner turmoil, often struggling with self-acceptance. In 1968, Novarro's life ended in tragedy when he was brutally murdered in his home by two young men who intended to rob him. This horrific crime underscored the dangers LGBTQ+ individuals faced, and Novarro's story has since become a poignant reminder of the challenges faced by marginalized communities. Today, Novarro is remembered for his trailblazing contributions to Hollywood and as an early icon who represented both Latin American heritage and LGBTQ+ identity, despite the adversity he encountered. Octavia Butler was a pioneering science fiction writer, known for books like Kindred and Parable of the Sower. Born in 1947, she faced racial and gender barriers in a genre dominated by white men. Butler kept her personal life private, leading to speculation about her sexuality. While she never publicly identified as LGBT+, some close to her have hinted that she may have been a lesbian. What truly mattered was her groundbreaking work that allowed readers to confront complex social issues through speculative fiction. Butler passed away in 2006, but her legacy continues to inspire marginalized writers. Phyllis Hyman was an R&B and jazz singer known for her rich, emotive voice and hits like You Know How to Love Me and Living All Alone. Despite her musical achievements, Hyman struggled with bipolar disorder and depression, openly addressing her mental health battles in an era when such discussions were rare, particularly for Black women in entertainment. Tragically, she took her own life in 1995, just before her 46th birthday. After her death, it came to light that she had relationships with both men and women, revealing the complexity of her personal life and the inner battles she faced, alongside her public success. Often called the mother of the blues, Ma Rainey was a trailblazer who helped shape the genre with her powerful voice and fearless performances. Born in 1886, she was one of the first professional blues singers and made a name for herself with raw, heartfelt songs that spoke to the human condition. Rainey was known for openly expressing her attraction to women in her music, a groundbreaking act for her time. Although she was married to a man, her same-sex relationships were an open secret within her community. Rainey's boldness in life and art paved the way for future generations of LGBTQ+ musicians. She passed away in 1939, but her legacy continues to inspire. Bessie Smith, the Empress of the Blues, was born in 1894 and rose to prominence in the 1920s, captivating audiences with her powerful voice and commanding stage presence. Her life was marked by a series of triumphs and tragedies, including complex relationships with both men and women that defied the norms of her time. Smith's career was cut short by a car accident in 1937, but her influence lived on, inspiring artists like Janis Joplin and Nina Simone, who admired her strength and musicality. Her story remains a testament to the resilience and the unyielding spirit of an artist who dared to live authentically. Barbara Jordan was a formidable politician and civil rights advocate. who made history as the first black woman elected to the Texas Senate and later as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Born in 1936, Jordan's oratory skills earned her national recognition, particularly during the Watergate hearings. While she broke barriers in politics, Jordan's personal life was more private. She shared a long-term partnership with Nancy Earl for over 30 years, a relationship that was not widely known until after her death in 1996. Jordan's life is a testament to the courage it takes to live authentically while pushing the boundaries of what is possible. Jackie Moms Mabley, born in 1894, was a groundbreaking comedian who used her wit and humor to challenge racial and gender norms in a male-dominated industry. Known for her sharp social commentary and fearless approach, Mabley addressed topics others avoided, making her a pioneer for future generations of comedians. Mabley was also open about her attraction to women, a radical act for her time, adding another layer to her trailblazing legacy. She passed away in 1975, leaving behind a body of work that paved the way for countless female and black comedians. Having watched this far, you probably have a lot of questions in your head, right? Don't hesitate to leave us a positive comment party below the video and write your feelings below. We are always listening to you. Little Richard, born Richard Wayne Penniman in 1932, was a rock and roll pioneer whose music and stage persona changed the landscape of the genre. With hits like Tutti Frutti and Long Tall Sally, he broke boundaries with his high-energy performances and flamboyant style. His suggestive lyrics and stage presence hinted at his fluid sexuality, which was daring for the conservative era in which he rose to fame. Despite internal and external conflicts over his faith and identity, Little Richard remained an icon of individuality and expression. He passed away in 2020, leaving a legacy that continues to inspire. Billie Holiday, known as Lady Day, was born in 1915 and is celebrated for her unique voice and emotionally charged performances. Her iconic song, Strange Fruit, brought attention to racial violence and became a haunting reminder of America's dark history. Holiday's personal life was as tumultuous as her music, involving relationships with both men and women and battles with addiction. Her struggles with substance abuse and encounters with legal authorities ultimately led to her early death at the age of 44 in 1959. Despite her hardships, Holiday's music remains timeless, touching listeners with its profound depth. Bayard Rustin, born in 1912, was a brilliant organizer and key strategist behind the 1963 March on Washington, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. Rustin was openly gay, a bold stance in an era when it was far from accepted. This openness led to him being sidelined at times within the civil rights movement. Yet his strategic mind and commitment to nonviolence made him indispensable. Rustin's work laid the foundation for many civil rights advancements, and he continued to advocate for social justice until his death in 1987. Today, he is recognized as a civil rights and LGBTQ+ icon, whose legacy underscores the importance of staying true to oneself while fighting for equality. Whitney Houston was an icon with unmatched vocal talent. She sold over 200 million records, won 6 Grammy Awards, and left an indelible mark on music history. However, behind the fame, Houston struggled with drug addiction and personal turmoil. Rumors of her relationship with her best friend Robin Crawford followed her for decades. In Crawford's 2019 memoir, she confirmed that they had a romantic relationship in the early days of their friendship. But Houston chose not to make it public, likely due to the immense pressure from her family, faith, and public image. Houston died tragically in 2012, leaving questions about whether living openly would have eased her personal battles. Sherman Hemsley made television history with his portrayal of George Jefferson on The Jeffersons. Though his character was loud and brash, Hemsley was shy and private in real life. He never married and kept his personal life closely guarded. After his death in 2012, it was confirmed by friends that Hemsley had been gay, highlighting the challenges faced by Black LGBTQ+ actors in the 1970s and 1980s. Billy Strayhorn, the brilliant composer behind many of Duke Ellington's hits, was openly gay in the jazz community. Born in 1915, Strayhorn's contributions, including the classic Take the A Train, helped shape American music. Despite societal pressures, he lived authentically within the jazz world until his death in 1967 from esophageal cancer. His influence continues to be celebrated, reminding us of the courage it took to live openly during his time. Nell Carter, best known for her role in Gimme a Break, was a powerhouse singer and actress who brought warmth and wit to her performances. Born in 1948, Carter faced numerous challenges, including struggles with her health and miscarriages. She ultimately adopted 3 children and created a loving family. While Carter was married twice, it was only after her death in 2003 that her relationship with longtime partner Ann Kaser was revealed. Kaser had lived with Carter for years and was left in charge of Carter's estate and children after her passing, showcasing the depth of their bond. Truman Capote, author of Breakfast at Tiffany's and In Cold Blood, was as famous for his literary genius as for his flamboyant social life. Born in 1924, Capote was open about his homosexuality, which was rare at the time. His openness and wit made him a fixture in high society, but his later years were marred by addiction. Capote passed away in 1984, but his legacy as a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ representation in literature remains. Paul Winfield was an accomplished actor whose career spanned decades. Born in 1939, he gained acclaim for his Oscar-nominated performance and his portrayal of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in King. Despite his fame, Winfield was known for keeping his personal life private, particularly regarding his sexuality. He never publicly came out, but those close to him knew he was gay. Winfield's long-term relationship with architect Charles Gillen Jr. remained private for most of their lives. The interracial couple's relationship was particularly bold for a time when both race and sexual orientation were highly stigmatized. Winfield passed away in 2004 from a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy marked by groundbreaking roles and quiet perseverance. Sylvester was a groundbreaking figure in the world of disco music. Born in 1947 in Los Angeles, he began his career singing gospel in church. His religious upbringing, however, clashed with his identity as he grew older. Sylvester moved to San Francisco, where he found a community that accepted him, allowing him to express his true self both personally and musically. His biggest hit, You Make Me Feel Mighty Real, became an anthem of empowerment and self-acceptance. While Sylvester was flamboyantly open about his sexuality on stage and in public, he remained private about his personal relationships. He once spoke about the internal struggle he faced due to his upbringing and societal pressures. Despite his short-lived mainstream success, Sylvester never lost his spirit and became an advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, especially during the AIDS crisis, which claimed his life in 1988, at the age of 41. His contributions to music and LGBTQ+ culture continue to resonate long after his death. Luther Vandross, with his smooth, soulful voice, was an icon in the R&B music world. Born in 1951 in New York City, Vandross touched millions with hits like Never Too Much and Dance with My Father, selling over 40 million records worldwide. Despite his songs filled with love and romance, Vandross kept his private life shrouded in mystery. He never publicly dated, fueling rumors about his sexuality. Close friends later revealed that Vandross was gay, but chose not to come out for fear of losing his devoted female fan base. Patti LaBelle, a close friend, disclosed after his death that Vandross feared the impact coming out would have on his career and his family, particularly his mother. Bruce Vilanch, a longtime collaborator, mentioned that Vandross once confided in him about leading a double life. Vandross died in 2005 from complications following a stroke, taking his deeply personal struggles with him. His fans continue to celebrate his music, but his personal life remains a poignant reminder of the pressures faced by LGBTQ+ artists in a less accepting time. James Baldwin was not only a literary giant, but also a voice for social justice. Born in 1924 in Harlem, Baldwin grew up in a religious household and briefly followed his stepfather's path into the ministry. However, he soon realized that his true calling was literature. Baldwin moved to Paris in the 1940s, seeking a place where he could write openly about race and sexuality without the constraints of American society. His works, such as Giovanni's Room, published in 1956, were revolutionary for their honest portrayal of same-sex love. Baldwin's characters reflected his own struggles with identity and acceptance. Although Baldwin was open about his sexuality in his writings, he kept his personal life private, never making grand public declarations. Living at a time when being both black and gay was exceptionally challenging, Baldwin faced significant discrimination, but continued to use his platform to speak out against racism and homophobia. He passed away in 1987, but his words continue to inspire new generations of writers and activists. Josephine Baker was more than just an entertainer. She was a force of nature. Born in 1906 in St. Louis, Missouri, into dire poverty, Baker faced monumental challenges from an early age. Despite these obstacles, she became one of the most celebrated performers in the world. Moving to Paris in the 1920s, Baker captivated audiences with her exotic dancing and unique charisma. Her breakout role in La Revue Negre showcased her fearless approach and remarkable stage presence. The French adored her, and Baker quickly rose to fame, becoming the headliner at the famed Folies Bergère. Beyond her stage persona, Baker played a significant role during World War II as a spy for the French resistance, using her fame to gather intelligence against the Nazis. Later, she became an outspoken supporter of the American Civil Rights Movement, even refusing to perform for segregated audiences. Despite her bold public stances on social justice, Baker kept her personal life deeply private. Although married multiple times and the mother to 12 adopted children from various countries, her relationships with women remained hidden. The rumored affair with Mexican artist Frida Kahlo is one of the most notable, though neither ever confirmed it. Friends close to Baker were aware of her bisexuality, but coming out publicly at that time would have been career suicide. Baker died in 1975 at the age of 68, leaving behind a legacy as both an entertainer and civil rights pioneer. Richard Pryor was a legend in the world of comedy, known for his brutally honest routines that explored race, politics, and his personal struggles with addiction and mental health. Born in 1940 in Peoria, Illinois, Pryor's childhood was tumultuous, marked by being raised in a brothel by his grandmother. This difficult upbringing fueled his raw, fearless comedic style. Pryor's fame soared in the 1970s and 1980s as he broke taboos and opened up conversations with his unfiltered humor. However, one aspect of Pryor's life that remained largely unspoken was his bisexuality. Though he was married to women 5 times, Pryor hinted at his encounters with men during his comedy acts in a way that left audiences questioning what was true and what was a joke. It wasn't until years after his death in 2005 that his widow, Jennifer Lee Pryor, confirmed his bisexuality, revealing that Pryor had written about his relationships with men in his personal journals. The revelation came after musician Quincy Jones mentioned Pryor's romantic relationship with actor Marlon Brando. While Pryor was open about many aspects of his life, he never publicly disclosed his sexuality, possibly due to fear of fan backlash or the conservative nature of his era. Gordon Thompson became a household name in the 1980s with his portrayal of the scheming Adam Carrington on the hit TV show Dynasty. Despite his success, Thompson chose to keep his personal life private during the height of his fame, coming out publicly as gay only in 2017. In interviews since, he has discussed the challenges of navigating Hollywood as a closeted actor during a time when being openly gay could harm one's career. Despite these obstacles, Thompson has maintained a steady acting career and remains a respected figure in the entertainment industry. Armistead Maupin is an acclaimed author whose Tales of the City series became a literary and cultural touchstone for LGBTQ+ readers. Beginning as a newspaper serial in the 1970s, the series follows the lives of a group of friends in San Francisco, offering a groundbreaking depiction of LGBTQ+ life at a time when such representation was rare. Maupin's work is celebrated for its humor, empathy, and candid exploration of love, loss, and identity. At 80, he remains a beloved literary figure, with his works continuing to reach new audiences through books, television adaptations, and audiobooks. Felicia Picano is a pioneering figure in LGBTQ+ literature, best known for his novel The Lure, which broke ground in 1979 for its honest and bold depiction of gay life. Over his long career, Picano has explored the complexities of sexuality, relationships, and identity in a variety of genres, from novels to memoirs and poetry. As one of the founders of the Violet Quill, an influential group of gay writers, Picano has played a critical role in shaping LGBTQ+ literature. His works continue to inspire both readers and fellow writers, cementing his legacy as a key figure in queer literary history. Barry Manilow, one of the most successful pop artists of all time, is known for classic hits like Copacabana and Mandy. For many years, Manilow kept his personal life private, fearing that revealing his sexuality might alienate his loyal fan base. However, in 2014, he quietly married his longtime partner, Gary Keefe, and has since embraced a more open life. Despite the challenges of touring during the pandemic, Manilow's music continues to reach audiences worldwide, and his legacy as a pop icon remains as strong as ever. Stephen Fry is a beloved figure in British entertainment, known for his brilliant wit, intellectual depth, and contributions to literature, acting, and activism. His early career skyrocketed in the 1980s, with comedic partner Hugh Laurie in A Bit of Fry and Laurie, and continued with acting roles in films and television, including the acclaimed Jeeves and Wooster. Fry's talents are not limited to performance. He is a successful author who writes novels, memoirs, and non-fiction works that explore topics like mythology and language, and his personal struggles with bipolar disorder. As a prominent advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and mental health awareness, Fry has used his platform to challenge stigma and promote understanding. In 2015, he married comedian Elliot Spencer, marking a significant personal milestone. Fry continues to engage millions on social media with thoughtful reflections on literature, culture, and politics, cementing his place as a respected intellectual and cultural icon. Bruno Tonioli, famed for his exuberant personality, has built a successful career as a dancer, choreographer, and television judge on hit shows like Strictly Come Dancing and Dancing with the Stars. With his energetic and passionate approach to dance, Tonioli has captivated audiences, offering both expert critiques and entertaining commentary. Beyond his on-screen work, Tonioli has had a long career choreographing for top music acts like Elton John and Tina Turner. After coming out publicly in 2010, he entered into a committed relationship with model Jason Shan, and in 2012, the couple celebrated their love with a commitment ceremony. Tonioli's openness about his identity and his joy for life has made him a cherished figure in the LGBTQ+ community and a fan favorite worldwide. Bill T. Jones is a groundbreaking choreographer dancer, and activist, known for merging political and social issues with deeply personal expression in his work. As a gay black man living with HIV, Jones has drawn on his own life experiences to create powerful performances that explore themes of survival, illness, identity, and resilience. His landmark piece, Still Here, is one such example, addressing the emotional journey of those living with life-threatening illnesses. Jones has received numerous accolades, including Tony Awards and a MacArthur Genius Fellowship, for his innovative work in contemporary dance. As artistic director of New York Live Arts, he continues to inspire future generations of artists while advocating for LGBTQ+ rights and HIV awareness. Bruce Vilanch is a comedy legend, known for his quick wit and behind-the-scenes contributions to some of the biggest award shows in Hollywood, including the Oscars and the Emmys. A prolific writer, Vilanch has penned jokes for stars like Bette Midler and Whoopi Goldberg, shaping many iconic moments in entertainment. His humor is matched by his deep commitment to LGBTQ+ activism, having worked closely with organizations like the Los Angeles LGBT Center to advance the rights and visibility of the community. Vilanch, who has won 6 Emmy Awards, continues to influence the comedy world, using his platform to advance with humor and insight. Few artists have had as lasting an impact on music and culture as Sir Elton John. With over 300 million records sold, his career spans more than 5 decades, producing timeless hits like Your Song, Rocket Man, and Tiny Dancer. Known for his flamboyant performances and emotional depth, Elton's music has touched generations. Beyond his musical achievements, he is a tireless advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and HIV/AIDS awareness, founding the Elton John AIDS Foundation, which has raised millions for research and support. In 2014, he married his longtime partner, filmmaker David Furnish, with whom he is raising 2 sons. Despite announcing his retirement, Elton's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour continues to sell out, with fans worldwide eager to see him one last time on stage. Andre de Shields has been a magnetic presence on stage and screen for over 5 decades, captivating audiences with his charisma and talent. He is best known for his Tony-winning role in Hadestown, as well as his work in productions like The Wiz and Ain't Misbehavin'. Beyond his artistic achievements, de Shields has been a vocal advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and HIV awareness, drawing from his own experiences living as a gay man with HIV. His work, both on and off the stage, reflects a commitment to using art as a platform for social change. Even in his late 70s, de Shields continues to perform, inspire, and mentor the next generation of artists. Bruce Joel Rubin is an Oscar-winning screenwriter, best known for films like Ghost and Jacob's Ladder, which explore themes of life, death, and the afterlife. In 2024, Rubin publicly came out as gay, adding a new dimension to his life and work. Now, in his 80s, Rubin continues to be a significant influence in Hollywood, and his scripts inspire filmmakers and writers across generations. His personal revelation has only deepened the resonance of his work, which often deals with questions of identity, love, and mortality. David Geffen is a titan of the music and entertainment industries, having co-founded Asylum Records and worked with some of the biggest names in music, from Bob Dylan to Joni Mitchell. Geffen's influence extends far beyond the music world. He's also a major philanthropist, supporting a wide range of causes from the arts to healthcare. After coming out publicly in 2007, Geffen has become an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ+ rights. His philanthropic efforts and his work in entertainment have made him one of the most powerful and influential figures of his generation. Peter Berlin, a celebrated figure in gay erotic cinema, revolutionized the genre with his bold and artistic approach to sexuality. A model, photographer, and filmmaker, Berlin's work pushed boundaries and redefined how gay art was perceived, blending provocative content with high artistry. His films and self-portraits, which often feature Berlin as the subject, have been showcased in exhibitions worldwide. Even into his 80s, Berlin continues to create art, solidifying his legacy as a trailblazer in LGBTQ+ visual culture. Edmund White is a renowned novelist and essayist whose works have profoundly shaped LGBTQ+ literature. His autobiographical novels, including A Boy's Own Story and The Beautiful Room is Empty, explore the intricacies of growing up gay and the search for identity and love. White's writing is celebrated for its lyricism and honesty, making him one of the most important gay authors of the 20th and 21st centuries. His candid portrayal of same-sex relationships and his reflections on life, love, and loss have resonated with readers for decades, and he continues to write and inspire today. Sir Ian McKellen is one of the most beloved actors of our time, and he is known for his roles in blockbuster franchises like The Lord of the Rings and X-Men. McKellen's career spans stage and screen, where he has taken on classical roles, such as Hamlet and King Lear. Equally important is his advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights. Having come out publicly in 1988, McKellen has been a tireless advocate for equality, using his celebrity to push for legal and social progress. Even at 85, he continues to act, taking on challenging roles and captivating audiences with his immense talent and charisma. Tommy Tune is a legendary Broadway performer and director, having won an impressive 10 Tony Awards over his illustrious career. Known for his towering height and graceful dance moves, Tune has long been a trailblazer in musical theater, creating innovative and critically acclaimed productions. Despite personal tragedy, including the loss of his partner to AIDS in 1994, Tune has continued to thrive as an artist and mentor to younger performers. His openness about his sexuality and his commitment to theater is a respected figure in the entertainment world. Having watched this far, you probably have a lot of questions in your head, right? Don't hesitate to leave us a positive comment party below the video and write your feelings below. We are always listening to you. Sir Derek Jacobi is an acclaimed British actor whose career in theater, film, and television has spanned decades. Known for his classical stage roles in Shakespearean plays, as well as for his work in popular TV series like Claudius, Jacobi has earned numerous awards for his performances. He has been in a relationship with actor Richard Clifford for over 40 years, and the couple entered into a civil partnership in 2006. Despite his age, Jacobi remains active in the arts, continuing to take on challenging roles in both traditional and contemporary productions. George Takei, best known for his role as Hikaru Sulu on Star Trek, has become a cultural icon, not only for his acting but also for his activism. After Star Trek ended, Takei came out publicly and married his longtime partner Brad Altman in 2006. Since then, he has been a tireless advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and social justice, using his platform to speak out on issues ranging from marriage equality to the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, an experience Takei lived through as a child. His social media presence, particularly his humorous and thought-provoking posts, has gained him millions of followers, making him a prominent voice for equality and human rights. Johnny Mathis, the legendary American singer, has enjoyed a career that spans more than 6 decades, with hits like Misty and Chances Are becoming classics. Signed with Columbia Records in the 1950s, Mathis has sold over 360 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling artists of all time. Throughout his career, Mathis has kept his private life mostly out of the spotlight, although he has acknowledged relationships with both men and women. Despite his relatively private nature, Mathis continues to perform and remains an enduring figure in the music industry. Don Bahardi is a celebrated portrait artist, known for his work that captures the essence of his subjects with emotional depth. Bahardi was in a long-term relationship with the renowned writer Christopher Isherwood, a partnership that lasted until Isherwood's death in 1986. Their relationship, which began in the 1950s, was considered groundbreaking, especially for its openness during a time of widespread social prejudice. Bahardi's portraits have been exhibited around the world, and at 90, he continues to create, reflecting on his life with Isherwood and his journey as a groundbreaking gay artist. Richard Chamberlain, known for his roles in Dr. Kildare and The Thornbirds, was a heartthrob on television in the 1960s and 1970s. For much of his career, Chamberlain kept his sexuality private, only coming out publicly in his 50s with the release of his memoir Shattered Love in 2003. Despite the challenges of working in Hollywood at a time when being openly gay could be career-threatening, Chamberlain built an impressive body of work and has remained a beloved actor. Although he has not appeared in recent projects, his contributions to television and film continue to be celebrated. Joel Grey, best known for his Tony and Oscar-winning role as the Master of Ceremonies in Cabaret, has had a career that spans more than half a century. In addition to his iconic work in musical theater, Grey has also enjoyed success as a director and photographer. Despite being previously married and having children, including actress Jennifer Grey, he came out publicly as gay at the age of 82. Grey continues to work in the arts, most recently participating in a dramatized reading of the Mueller Report, demonstrating his enduring passion for political and social engagement. John Kander is a legendary composer whose work, alongside lyricist Fred Ebb, has produced some of Broadway's most iconic musicals, including Cabaret and Chicago. Even at 97, Kander remains active in the theater world, with his most recent project, The Beast in the Jungle, debuting in 2018. In 2010, Kander married his longtime partner, Albert Stevenson, after more than 3 decades together. His contributions to musical theater have left an indelible mark on the arts, and his influence continues to be felt in contemporary productions across the world. Lily Tomlin is a celebrated actress, comedian, and producer with a career spanning over 5 decades in television and film. She gained fame in the 1970s on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In and starred in hit films like 9 to 5. Tomlin has won Emmys, Tonys, and a Grammy, showcasing her versatility. She married her longtime partner, Jane Wagner, in 2013, and the couple has collaborated on iconic works. A strong advocate for LGBTQ+ rights and social justice, Tomlin continues to shine, notably in the Netflix series Grace and Frankie. Martina Navratilova is a tennis legend with 18 Grand Slam singles titles and 31 Grand Slam doubles titles, dominating the sport in the 1970s and 1980s. She publicly came out as bisexual in 1981, becoming a trailblazer for LGBTQ+ athletes. Navratilova has used her platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, gender equality, and animal rights. She married her partner, Julia Lemigova, in 2014, and remains active in tennis as a commentator and coach, leaving a legacy both in sports and LGBTQ+ advocacy. David Bowie, a visionary artist known for constantly reinventing himself, passed away on January 10, 2016, just 2 days after his 69th birthday and the release of his final album, Black Star. Bowie had privately battled cancer for 18 months and planned his final farewell carefully. He requested that his ashes be scattered in Bali, following the island's Buddhist rituals. His family honored his wishes, ensuring a private and spiritual farewell in accordance with Bowie's beliefs. Although rumors later emerged that some of his ashes were scattered at the 2016 Burning Man festival, his son Duncan Jones denied the claims, calling them untrue. Dolores O'Riordan, the iconic voice of the Cranberries, tragically passed away on January 15, 2018, at the age of 46. She was found unresponsive in the bathtub of her hotel room at the Hilton in London during a recording session. Hours before her death, she had spoken to her mother on the phone, but 6 hours later, she was discovered by hotel staff. An inquest confirmed that her death was accidental, attributed to drowning due to alcohol intoxication. Dolores O'Riordan's passing shocked her family, friends, and fans worldwide. Her body was flown back to Ireland, where she lay in repose at St. Joseph's Church in Limerick. Thousands of mourners lined up to pay their final respects to the beloved singer. She was laid to rest on January 23, 2018, in Caherelly Cemetery, alongside her father, Terence. On that day, Irish radio stations played the Cranberries' hit When You're Gone in her honor, a poignant tribute to a remarkable artist. John Lennon, a founding member of the Beatles and a global music icon, was tragically murdered on December 8, 1980, outside his home in New York City. Lennon had moved to New York in 1971, seeking a quieter life with his wife, Yoko Ono. However, the world was stunned when a man named Mark David Chapman shot him as he returned home. Lennon's death was mourned worldwide, and 5 years later, on what would have been his 45th birthday, part of Central Park was dedicated to his memory. Named Strawberry Fields after one of his most famous songs, the park includes a mosaic inscribed with the word Imagine, referencing his solo hit. It is believed that Yoko Ono scattered some of Lennon's ashes in this serene area, making it a peaceful resting place in the city he loved. Roy Orbison, known for his haunting voice and emotional songs, passed away suddenly on December 6, 1988, at the age of 52 due to a heart attack. His life was marked by personal tragedy. His first wife, Claudette, died in a motorcycle accident in 1966, and just 2 years later, 2 of his sons were killed in a fire at the family home. Despite these devastating losses, Orbison found love again with Barbara Jacobs, who helped manage his career resurgence in the 1980s. He was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1987 and formed the supergroup Traveling Wilburys with Bob Dylan and Tom Petty. After his death, Orbison was buried at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles, though his grave remains unmarked. His wife Barbara, who passed away in 2011, was buried beside him, and visitors pay tribute to the legendary musician at her marked grave. Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, passed away on August 16, 1977, from a heart attack at the age of 42. His death sent shockwaves across the world, and thousands of fans gathered outside Graceland, his Memphis mansion, to mourn his passing. Elvis's body was initially placed in a mausoleum at Forest Hill Cemetery, alongside his mother Gladys. However, after an attempted grave robbery, his body was moved back to Graceland for permanent burial. Elvis is now interred alongside his mother and father in a garden on the grounds of his famous home, where fans continue to visit and pay their respects. Mary Wilson, a founding member of the legendary Motown group The Supremes, passed away unexpectedly on February 8, 2021, at the age of 76. The cause of death was later confirmed as heart disease. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, her family held a small private ceremony in March, with plans for a larger memorial when it was safer to gather. Mary Wilson was laid to rest at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California, next to her son Raphael, who died in a car accident at the age of 14. She left behind a legacy not only as a trailblazing artist, but also as a devoted mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. Chuck Berry, one of the architects of rock and roll, passed away on March 18, 2017, at the age of 90. His influence on the genre cannot be overstated, with hits like Maybelline and Johnny B. Good paving the way for future rock musicians. Berry continued to perform well into his 80s, and at the age of 88, he was still playing monthly shows in his hometown of St. Louis. Berry was laid to rest in Bellerive Heritage Gardens in St. Louis, Missouri, where fans and fellow musicians alike honored his monumental contributions to music. Janis Joplin, the queen of rock and blues, died from a heroin overdose on October 4, 1970, at the age of 27. She was cremated 2 days later in a private ceremony attended by only a handful of close friends. Her ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean off the coast of Marin County, California, per her wishes. Although fans cannot visit her final resting place, her legacy lives on through her music, and her former hotel room in Hollywood is now marked with a plaque in her honor. Kurt Cobain, the lead singer and guitarist of Nirvana, tragically passed away on April 5, 1994, at the age of 27. After his death, his widow Courtney Love had him cremated, and his ashes were scattered in several meaningful locations, including the Wishkah River, near his childhood home, and a Buddhist monastery in Ithaca, New York. Some of his ashes were kept by Love, but in 2008, she reported that they had been stolen. Nevertheless, Cobain's legacy as one of the most influential musicians of his generation endures. Jim Morrison, the enigmatic frontman of The Doors, died on July 3, 1971, in Paris at the age of 27. His cause of death was listed as heart failure, but rumors persist that he overdosed on heroin. Morrison was buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris, which has become a pilgrimage site for rock fans. His grave is inscribed with the words "Kata ton daimona etoi," often translated as "true to his own spirit," a fitting epitaph for a man who lived on his own terms. Jimi Hendrix, often hailed as one of the greatest guitarists in history, passed away on September 18, 1970, at the age of 27. Born in Seattle, Hendrix revolutionized rock music with his innovative use of feedback, distortion, and effects pedals, creating a sound that was both raw and transcendent. His performances at the Monterey Pop Festival and Woodstock remain legendary, cementing his place in rock history. However, Hendrix's life was cut short when he died from an overdose of sleeping pills combined with alcohol. Initially buried in a simple grave at Greenwood Memorial Park in Renton, Washington, Hendrix's remains were later moved to a larger memorial to accommodate the thousands of fans who visit each year to honor his memory. Hendrix's influence on music is immeasurable, and his legacy continues to inspire musicians across the globe. Johnny Ramone, the guitarist and co-founder of the punk band The Ramones, was a defining figure in the punk rock movement. Born John Cummings, Johnny's fast, aggressive playing style helped create the signature sound of the Ramones, influencing generations of punk bands. Songs like Blitzkrieg Bop and I Wanna Be Sedated became anthems of punk rock. Johnny Ramone was known for his strict work ethic and right-wing political views, which sometimes clashed with the other members of the band, particularly Joey Ramone. Johnny passed away on September 15, 2004, after a long battle with prostate cancer. He was cremated, and while his ashes were kept by his wife, a statue in his likeness was erected at Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles, where fans continue to gather and pay tribute to his enduring legacy in punk music. Joey Ramone, the frontman of the Ramones, passed away on April 15, 2001, after a long battle with lymphoma. Joey, born Jeffrey Hyman, was the heart and soul of the Ramones, with his distinctive voice and towering presence defining the band's look and sound. Despite a famously contentious relationship with Johnny Ramone, Joey remained the voice of punk rock rebellion, with songs like Sheena is a Punk Rocker becoming iconic. Joey was buried in Hillside Cemetery in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. His legacy as one of the most influential figures in punk rock lives on, and his unique voice continues to inspire punk and alternative musicians around the world. June Carter Cash, a member of the famed Carter family and a talented musician and songwriter in her own right, passed away on May 15, 2003, at the age of 73. Her love story with Johnny Cash became one of music's most enduring romances, with songs like Ring of Fire, which she co-wrote, reflecting the passion and devotion they shared. June was a strong, influential figure in the country music and a key force behind Johnny Cash's career resurgence in the 1960s. She was buried alongside Johnny in Hendersonville, Tennessee, ensuring their story lives on in both music and memory. Frank Zappa was a musical genius and iconoclast, known for his avant-garde compositions, satirical lyrics, and boundary-pushing political and social commentary. Zappa's career spanned decades, during which he created a vast and varied body of work that defied genre classification, ranging from rock to jazz to classical music. Zappa was a staunch advocate of free speech and a critic of censorship, which made him both a musical and political figurehead. He passed away on December 4th, 1993, from prostate cancer at the age of 52. In keeping with his unconventional nature, Zappa was buried in an unmarked grave at Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles, a final act of nonconformity from an artist who spent his life challenging the status quo. George Harrison, lead guitarist of the Beatles, passed away on November 29, 2001, at the age of 58 after a long battle with cancer. Harrison was a deeply spiritual man and a follower of the Hare Krishna movement, which heavily influenced his solo music after the Beatles disbanded. His songs, such as While My Guitar Gently Weeps and Here Comes the Sun, remain some of the most beloved in the Beatles' catalog. Following his death, Harrison was cremated, and his ashes were scattered in the sacred Ganges River in India, according to his wishes, and in line with his deep spiritual beliefs. Harrison's contributions to music, both with the Beatles and as a solo artist, have left a lasting legacy. Freddie Mercury, the legendary frontman of Queen, passed away on November 24, 1991, from AIDS-related complications at the age of 45. Known for his extraordinary vocal range, flamboyant stage presence, and magnetic charisma, Mercury was one of the greatest performers in rock history. Songs like Bohemian Rhapsody, We Will Rock You, and Somebody to Love became timeless anthems, and Mercury's unmatched talent and energy made him a global icon. In accordance with his wishes, Mercury's ashes were entrusted to his close friend Mary Austin, who scattered them in a secret location. Mercury's desire for privacy and death mirrored his carefully guarded personal life, ensuring that his final resting place remains known only to those closest to him. Cass Elliot, affectionately known as Mama Cass, was the powerhouse voice behind the Mamas and the Papas, one of the most iconic groups of the 1960s. Born Ellen Naomi Cohen, she rose to fame with hits like California Dreamin' and Monday Monday, contributing to the soundtrack of an entire generation. Tragically, on July 28, 1974, Cass Elliot passed away at the young age of 32 while staying in a London apartment. Initially, rumors circulated that she had choked on a ham sandwich, a false and hurtful narrative that overshadowed her true cause of death, heart failure. This misinformation was fueled by the pressures surrounding her weight, an issue she dealt with throughout her career due to the harsh scrutiny of public life. Despite the brevity of her career, Cass Elliott's voice and musical contributions left an indelible mark on the music world. Her body was returned to Los Angeles, where she was laid to rest at Mount Sinai Memorial Park. Fans continue to celebrate her soulful voice and her trailblazing role as a prominent female figure in 1960s rock and folk music. Eddie Van Halen, one of the greatest guitarists in rock history, was a force who forever changed the landscape of music. Born in the Netherlands and raised in California, Van Halen co-founded the band Van Halen with his brother Alex in 1972, pioneering a sound that combined virtuosity with powerful rock riffs. Eddie is best known for his innovative guitar techniques, particularly tapping, which influenced countless musicians. Songs like Eruption and Jump showcased his technical brilliance and wide-ranging creativity. Sadly, Eddie Van Halen passed away on October 6, 2020, at the age of 65 after a long battle with cancer. Having been diagnosed with throat cancer in 2000 and later lung cancer in 2017, Eddie fought his illness for years, even surviving a motorcycle accident that revealed a brain tumor. Despite these health battles, he continued to inspire musicians and fans worldwide. His ashes were scattered off the coast of Malibu, California, a place he called home. Eddie Van Halen's legacy lives on through his groundbreaking music and the generations of guitarists he influenced. Ray Charles, often called the genius of soul, was a towering figure in American music. Born in Georgia and blind from the age of 7, Charles overcame immense challenges to revolutionize popular music, blending genres like gospel, blues, R&B, and country into a sound that was uniquely his own. His hit songs like What Did I Say, Georgia on My Mind, and Hit the Road Jack became timeless classics that spanned decades. Despite his early struggles with heroin addiction, Charles continued to perform and record throughout his life, remaining relevant in the industry until his passing. Ray Charles died on June 10, 2004, at the age of 73, due to complications from liver disease. He was buried at Inglewood Park Cemetery in Los Angeles, where a star-studded funeral service was held, with music legends like Stevie Wonder and Willie Nelson honoring his life and contributions to music. Charles's groundbreaking work in fusing musical styles left an unmatched legacy that continues to influence artists across genres. Dennis Wilson, the wild and soulful drummer of the Beach Boys, embodied the surfer lifestyle that the band's music celebrated. He was the only member of the group who actually surfed, and his love for the ocean was reflected in both his life and death. Wilson was also known for his troubled personal life, which included struggles with substance abuse and tumultuous relationships. Despite these challenges, he contributed greatly to the Beach Boys' sound and became the creative force behind the band's 1977 album, Pacific Ocean Blue, a critically acclaimed solo work. On December 28, 1983, Dennis tragically drowned while swimming near Marina del Rey, California. In keeping with his deep connection to the sea, President Ronald Reagan granted permission for Wilson to be buried at sea, a rare honor usually reserved for military personnel. His ashes were scattered in the Pacific Ocean, a fitting farewell for a man who found solace in the waves. Prince, a musical genius known for his eclectic style, flamboyant performances, and genre-defying music, passed away on April 21, 2016, from an accidental fentanyl overdose at the age of 57. Prince Rogers Nelson was a revolutionary artist whose contributions spanned rock, funk, R&B, and pop. Hits like Purple Rain, When Doves Cry, and Kiss solidified his status as one of the most influential musicians of all time. Prince was also known for his fierce independence, famously battling with record labels for control over his music and creating his own symbol in defiance of the music industry. After his death, Prince was cremated in a private ceremony, and his ashes were placed in a custom-designed urn at Paisley Park, his famous home and studio in Minnesota. Later that year, Paisley Park opened to the public as a museum, allowing fans to visit the space where Prince created some of his greatest work and pay homage to his extraordinary life and legacy. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, don't forget to leave us positive comments. See you in the next video.